And welcome to Travel at 16. My name's Lysanda and I'm the call centre manager here. Today we're here just to do a bit of a casual chat to our wonderful Lynda from Titan Travel with regards to a tour that we're looking at putting on in October of 2025. So at the moment, before we get into it, I'll just put you over to Lynda and she can tell you a little bit more about Titan Travel.
Great. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here, and thanks so much to Lysanda and the team at Travel at 60 for having me today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Titan because you may not have heard of our product before. Titan is a UK company that has been in business for about 45 years. We are an escorted coach touring product with product, all over the world. We've got over 100 tours, and in this instance, we're very, very pleased to be partnering with the wonderful team at Travel at 60 to talk a little bit today about a escorted exclusive group departure to Italy.
Yeah, so with this tour, why I'm really excited about it, Lynda, is because we've actually put two tours together. So instead of an 11-day tour with an 8-day tour, we've made it into almost a 3-week, 21-day tour. So what we might do is start off with the beginning of the tour where we depart from Australia and we head not into Rome, but we actually go to another little place just outside of Rome.
Yeah, so on day 2, we've got some really exciting touring to do, and we travel to a beautiful little area in Ostuni, and it's referred to as the White City because it is a most charming, beautiful city, and it's all the homes and all the buildings there have been whitewashed in a beautiful lime whitewash, and it is absolutely dazzling. So from a picturesque perspective, as you're wandering around the villages, you have these most amazing sort of white alleyways, and then they're all beautifully built with these gorgeous old buildings. And as you're wandering through, the white comes alive with all the beautiful colours and the cafes and the flowers. It really is one of the most enchanting places, I think, in all of Italy. And it's definitely one of the main tourist attractions in Puglia. And I think it's definitely somewhere where you'd love to be able to spend some time, perhaps having a coffee and just admiring the beautiful area around that white city.
Sounds absolutely amazing, Lynda. And there's so many, I was having a look at it and it looks like it's something that's quite easy for people to get around with as well around the city. It's nice to just stop, have a coffee or a wine and just people watch.
That's absolutely right. And that's the beauty of these little villages, is that you don't need to worry, once you're there, you don't need to worry about, the transportation, because you can just wander around really for hours. You can just wander around and just get lost in the alleyways and the little, the nooks and crannies and all the beautiful street stalls. It really is a really lovely, relaxing way to spend, a few hours.
Excellent. So after day 2, we head then off to
Altamonte.
Yes. So we've skipped a couple of days. So
yes,
Alamonte. I've got to get my hands working for all the Italians. So if I don't pronounce it correctly, the hands are still moving and everything. But this really we've got a free day there. So what are some of the things that you would recommend that we do?
Well, Altamonte being in the beautiful Calabria region right down in southern Italy, the most exciting thing there is that there's something for everybody. It's referred to as the village for weddings because of the absolute beautiful scenery that you'll experience in this region. And as I said, it does have something for everything. So for the historians, through the Civic Museum, there is a huge amount of rich history there, right through to the beautiful Gothic style churches, which are just, breathtaking. So if you are into history, there's going to be plenty for you to do in Altamonte. And then, of course, it's, if you've had a little wander around and you've gotten your feel of all the beautiful history, then there's all the the olive groves and the vineyards where you can taste and beautiful sample all of the local produce. The area is really famous, of course, for those Calabrian breads, sweets, and the beautiful refined liqueurs. So there is really something for everybody in this gorgeous town, and I'm sure you'll be able to kill hours just getting to know the locals Everybody is extremely friendly, and you know, again, just, you know, being immersed in the local streets and alleyways, being able to, you know, have history on one side, and then you look the other way and you've got beautiful cafes and wines. It's just a beautiful contrast, and something I think would be, you know, a great adventure as well.
Yeah, because all of this touring, it's not all fast paced, is it? Like some companies you go and you might do like 15 cities in 14 days and things like this. But here we get to really submerge ourselves in local life and cuisine as well, which it didn't mean to be like a eating tour or drinking tour, but it seems to, this is what's going to happen. But what excites me is you always see when you're at school and you do geography, you draw Italy and you draw the boot and everything else. And we can say we're going to the toe of the boot.
Absolutely. And that's something that I've always wanted to say as well, is that, you know, going to the boot and right down into the toe in Sicily, and how, you know, what a wonderful memory that you'll be able to, you know, to have and pass that information on to all your friends and family, and just the experience of being able to do that. And of course, right down deep into Calabria in Sicily, in southern Italy, is where you'll find the boot, and, you know, famous for the most beautiful beaches and just really relaxing. There are obviously some historical points down there with all the medieval villages, so relax if you are a historian buff and you haven't had enough. There's going to be plenty in the boot and around that area for you to do, and of course, again, all the beautiful citrus groves and the olive groves. You know, in Italy, there's every region is famous for, you know, for different produce, and right down in Sicily, it's all about the wines, it's all about the breads, and it's all about the citrus fruits. So you'll see those, you know, everywhere you go, depending on the season.
Plus we have the seafood as well.
Absolutely, Lysanda. Don't forget the beautiful seafood, you know, right off the coast, caught fresh that day. If it is something that you love and you're a seafood lover, you are going to be in awe of the magnificent produce coming right off the boat, straight into the restaurants and straight onto your plates.
So, Lynda, this is probably a good time where we can tell our viewers that you and I in October are actually going together to Sicily. So
absolutely.
We'll be doing a little bit of research, and also it's probably a good time to say that I'll be hosting this tour as well with one of the with one of the Italian-speaking hosts from Titan as well. So I'll be there to pick up everything, probably not all your luggage, but anyway, but I'll be there at your beck and call to help you with everything. And yeah, it just like the next, I think there's 3 highlights for me in this tour, one being going to the toe of Italy. Now, the next one is like my absolute favorite, and I get really, really excited when I talk about that, and that is going to actually walk on a real volcano. Can you tell us a little bit more about that, Lynda?
Yes, absolutely. The famous Etna, as everybody affectionately calls this active volcano in Catania. And it is a sight to behold, and you'll actually get to walk on it, which is just, you know, amazing. What an experience. We head about halfway up the volcano and take an easy walk across, you know, all of the dried lava that's been there for, you know, thousands of years. And then you even get to sample some wine from the grapes of the vines where it's grown in the volcanic soil. So it really is an experience. It's in a lot of people's bucket lists, and you know, this is an opportunity to sort of tick it off yours if it's on yours, and if it's not, just enjoy the beautiful history around the area. And being able to, again, just immerse yourself in that local Italian culture. And I think you're right as well, Lysanda. It is a good time to just point out that, you know, you will personally be escorting this tour, and that's of great comfort to a lot of people. So you not only have the tour fully escorted by Titan Travel, you will also have the luxury, everyone, of having Lysanda along to be able to you know, care for you and make sure everything, you know, goes 100% on your tour. So it is a great opportunity to partake in this beautiful adventure.
Yes, plus we'll have a good time while we're over there working out the highlights that we can take them to as well, won't we, Lynda?
Oh, we will, Lysanda. We'll sample all the seafood and wine so that we can share that with everybody when we get back.
Yes, I saw a program on the weekend about one of the vineyards, the most popular vineyard that's on Mount Etna, and like there is no dirt there. It's all rock. It's all
volcanic soil.
Yeah, and rocks, and it's amazing. But the wine, and I don't drink wine, but I think by this day, what is it, day 10? I think I'm going to be converted to, like, maybe some people will be helping me get on the bus and everything else as well. But so now day 11, we actually have to say farewell to Sicily.
Yes, we do. We say goodbye to Italy and hello to Switzerland, which is a pretty amazing thing to be able to do. So with one amazing journey behind you, you'll then get to embark on a new journey. And that will involve a transfer, obviously, out to the airport, to Catania, where we'll take an early afternoon flight to Milan, and then a transfer to the hotel where we'll unpack, relax, and you'll have an opportunity to explore the local area, or it may be that you just want to put your feet up and relax. So the rest of the afternoon will be completely at leisure while you settle into your new surroundings and get ready for your next adventure.
Excellent. Now, our next adventure, this is another one. This is the final big Yahoo. This is where we're going, and that is to Switzerland, and that is to the Matterhorn, which I'm so, so excited about. And it doesn't take much for me to get excited, obviously. But these are some really big things that we're seeing. We might not be going to the Rome and the Venice and all these big name places in Italy, but where we're going is full of culture, rich in produce and wine, and it's just out of the way places that if you went over there with, on your own or with friends and everything else, it's like you wouldn't get to see these places, would you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. And I think that's a really important thing to mention is that, especially when traveling with Titan, is it's a very immersive type of touring. So rather than, rushing you around, every night, changing hotels and getting to see, as you said, those big ticket items, it really is about spending time in the local culture, really getting to know and see an area without obviously missing all the big ticket items. They're there as well. But at the same time, it's a much more relaxed style of touring, and it is more immersive, and you will see more because when you stay in a place for longer, you get to explore more rather than rushing in. You've got a half a day there and then you're on to the next city. It can sometimes be a bit much and not too enjoyable.
Yeah, but you get quite exhausted, don't you?
Absolutely, you do. Yeah, absolutely. I personally don't like to tour like that. No. I like to spend at least a couple of days in each area and really feel like I've been able to experience the area and not that everything's just a blur. But you're right. It really is the rock star of the mountains, which is the Matterhorn mountain. And, a lot of people the beautiful Swiss Alps area is breathtaking. And you, of course, get to do the most amazing, scenic rail journey in that area, and it is, I think, also a huge highlight of this trip. So you've come from Italy into Switzerland, and you're now having a totally new experience in the beautiful Swiss Alps.
Yes, and we're at Lake Orta. Is it pronounced?
That's
Orta?
right. Yes, scenic Lake Orta.
So my suggestion is we can swim in Sicily, we can swim in Switzerland, we can swim, we can eat, we can drink, we can have a really good time. Now there is a few days where we do have all that free time in Switzerland where we can just go and immerse ourselves and, get around the lakes and everything else by ourselves. Now we go into, is it Zermatt as well, yes, which is at the foot of the Matterhorn? And have you been there at all, Lynda, by any chance?
No, I haven't. I haven't been there actually, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. Maybe I'll come with you, Lysanda.
Oh yes, more than merrier, I say. So after we've done our Switzerland, so we're there for 8 days.
That's right.
And then we get back to Milan. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. And then we'll start the journey home through Milan. And then depending on what everyone's wanting to do, people can then either travel on to, there are different areas in Europe. They may want to see friends or family or take some more time out. or there'll be, we can organise, flights, obviously in conjunction with Travel at 60. We'll work together on the packages for everybody to bring them home at their convenience. So it really is an exciting time. As I said, I would absolutely love to be doing this trip with you, but I will take heart in the fact that I will be able to explore and hopefully do some more updates on site later in the year when we're in Sicily, Lysanda.
I say I'll have the selfie stick and we'll be doing live crosses on Facebook. But so I guess some of the important factors that we haven't gone through is the price. Now, what we've done is we've got two special offers. The first one is if you book before December this year, we have the twin share is $8,265. And the solo is only $1,000 supplement, which is a great supplement for the amount of time that we're away, which is $9,235 per person. Now that does include the internal airfares, the transfer, and the meals. Like, there's not really a lot of time where you have to put your own hand in your pocket. So before we go, I'd just like to say thank you to Lynda for joining me today, sort of on the couch, but sort of not on the couch, for this lovely chat with regards to expression of interest for this Italy and Switzerland hosted. I said the right country.
You did.
Thank goodness for that. Tour. So like we said earlier on, we're in the background, we're still putting it together. So we should have a final confirmation in the next coming weeks, which we will then contact everybody and let everybody know that, yes, it's 100% a go, and give you final further information. But it's at the moment, it's like $1,400 off per person if you book before the end of December. So please, everybody, give us a call on 1300-414-198 or give us an email at team@travel@60. I look forward to speaking to everybody and hosting everyone that wants to come. And Lynda, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and we shall speak to you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Lysanda. Thank you.